doing it. We're going live. Okay, these last 2 days, I completely apologize. I have been like swamped. We have our retreat coming up. So I've just been trying to get everything in order and stay on task. So I'm making some dinner. Thought I'd go live and answer your questions. If you're just tuning in or watching the replay, I'm Alexandra Harbushka, founder of Life with Herpes, founder of AlexandraHarbushka.com, and founder of the SecretSocietyWellness.com, which are our wellness products. So anyways, thanks for joining me as I'm making dinner. Hey Autumn, hey Dan, hey Kara, hey Big Fold-In, all that. Okay, let me go through this quickly. Okay, Autumn asked, can herpes cause, I have to get my wine, guys. Can herpes cause headaches? So there's a couple things that can cause the headaches. One could be the antiviral that you're on. The antiviral, one of the side effects is headaches. It also dehydrates you. So I don't know if it's because you're dehydrated or if it's because the antiviral is causing that. So other than that, I'd say it really doesn't cause headaches. It could be some other stress going on in your life. Can you shave your vagina when you don't have an active OB? You heard it can cause one. Okay, that's a good question. I've heard a lot of people say that, we're gonna move over here because I gotta do dishes. I've heard a lot of people say that like they were always waxers and all of a sudden now that they have herpes, getting waxed because of outbreak. I've heard people say that, hey Scarlett, here. Scarlett. I've heard people say that if they were shavers, all of a sudden it may cause an issue shaving. It really depends on where your outbreak is located, number one. And number two, the coarseness of your hair, and just see what the sensitivity is. Try it, see what's going on. Another great option is having laser hair removal. I'm a huge fan of that. I've done that. I've done it before I had herpes and then after I've had herpes. It hasn't caused an outbreak for me. So I recommend doing that if that's, I recommend doing that. Hey girl, I just had to break up with the guy who gave me herpes. I've been talking to a new guy. I really like him and I'm nervous to tell. Any tips? Yeah, Jamie. Thanks for asking about that question, because the disclosure or dating or feeling like, do I deserve to go out and date, and those types of questions are really, really strong and valid concerns. I would say one of the things that we have to learn with having herpes, this is not something that should hold us back. This is not something that is like, oh, I'm damaged goods, will you accept me? So if you go into it like, this is what I have, deal with it, don't say it that way, but if you go into it with that type of confidence, or we'll deal with it together, not like you deal with it, like we'll deal with it together. I think that that's going in with a ton of confidence. When we go in at like, I have herpes and I'm really, really sorry and I did something so wrong and I'm shameful and resentful and will you still like me? That doesn't make anybody happy. It doesn't make you happy, it doesn't make your partner happy. So I would say you don't need to disclose until you're ready to expose. It could be meaning you don't have to tell them in order to go on a date. Figure out if you even like the person. Figure out if you want to go to the next level. Once you're ready to go to that next level and you feel the relationship going into that next level, which could be date 1, date 10, everybody's a little bit different. When you feel that happening, that's when you're going to want to disclose. I do have a Tell Your Partner toolkit that has, I think, like 12 or 14 videos on how to disclose to a partner. I recommend that. It's on lifewithherpes.com. Go to start here, you'd find it there. Yeah, the more you come off with confidence, I think that's the way to do it. Should I let him know I'm on antivirals and being responsible? Oh yeah, the more statistics or the more that you guys can talk together and like merge, this is what I'm doing to protect myself and you as well. And statistics show that if you're doing this and doing that, the 3 things I always recommend are using condoms, disclosing to a partner, and communicating about having herpes. That first conversation that you have about herpes is not gonna be your last. Okay, so we think like we have the conversation with our partner and then we're never going to discuss herpes again. No, it's something that, you know, you'll continually have to discuss. Like, I'm having an outbreak, or I'm feeling run down, or I don't know, I have a tingle. It should just be like a normal conversation with your partner. Thank you so much. You're the best. Also having some champagne. Oh yes, cheers. I'm having some wine. I love it. You've helped me so much. Just wanted to know, still struggling with so much better since I found you. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that you're working through it. Getting off that emotional roller coaster is literally the best thing we can do. So I'm glad that this community has supported you. Okay, let's go to some more questions. I hope I can get through them. If somebody accidentally drinks out of your cup and you have HSV1, should they get tested? No. Here's the thing. If you purposely go out of your way to like give someone herpes, like that's not cool, it's not kosher. Somebody drinking out of your cup, that is something that happens all the time. You go to someone's house for Christmas, you go to someone's house for Passover, you go for a birthday gathering, like people drink out of your cups all the time, and 2 out of 3 people have oral herpes. So number one, the person that you shared with may already have herpes. Who knows, they already may have it. Number 2, they've already come into exposure with herpes before you. Like, you're not the only person in the world that has herpes, right? So if you had an outbreak at the time, I might have a conversation with them and be like, uh-oh, like, I'm so sorry, you know, let me know if this happens, but you can't worry about it. Can I take both lysine and antivirals daily? If so, how much? Yeah, lysine is not an antiviral. Lysine is an essential amino acid. And what that is it's a protein that helps suffocate the herpes virus. So that helps internally to help the herpes virus from replicating. The antiviral, on the other hand, is an FDA-approved drug that will help suppress the virus. So it lessens the transmission rate by 48%. So it does a lot. That is, right now, the best technology, or what we have, that will be helpful in reducing the transmission. So yeah, you can totally take both. As far as what to take, obviously listen to your doctor, what he or she prescribes you. Typically, if you are on the antiviral, it's about 500 milligrams a day. If you're taking lysine, you can take anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 milligrams. 3,000 if you have an outbreak. You're a queen. I just enjoy you as a person. Oh, thank you. If you're taking meds and using protection, how likely are you to spread? So, of course, every situation is different, but if you are taking medication like the antiviral and using protection, you have a less than 1% chance, and don't have an outbreak, you have a less than 1% chance of transmitting herpes, which is awesome. For how long did you take a daily antiviral? I took it for about 3 years daily. And then I was like, I'm done. I want to get off of it. How do you show your affection to your baby? Do I kiss him? I kiss him all day, every day, all over. Cannot get enough of him. So yeah, that's a decision and choice I've made. I feel like it's way more harm not to kiss him than it is to potentially give him herpes. And that's just how I personally feel. What are your tips for telling someone you potentially want to date that you have herpes? I just covered that. Just come off with confidence, come off with statistics. So trying to get pregnant 2 days after ovulation, got a cold sore. Should I be worried? Cold sore on your mouth should have nothing to do with having vaginal sex. As long as you don't use your mouth for sex, you're good. Can you still have kids if you are positive? Yes, I had Clinton. I gave birth vaginally, and I have genital HSV too. So it has nothing to do with that, which is awesome. Oh, look at this little guy. Whoa. Look at this guy. Clinton, you're on Instagram. Clinton, you haven't seen yourself. There you are. Oh, yeah, there you are. Okay. If you feel tingling and itching, should you wait till there's a bump before taking any meds? No, I'd say as soon as you feel, thank you, as soon as you feel the prodrome, which that's kind of what that's called, as soon as you feel those symptoms coming on, absolutely, like, take the medication or do what you would normally do to nip that outbreak in the bud. So whether it's using your oils, taking Epsom salt baths, whatever you do. Hey, Clinton, yeah. I love that little boy. Can you drink on antivirals? I do. I think it says on there, like, look at your alcohol content. Definitely ask your pharmacist, but I do. Oh, he looks so much like me. Thank you. We were just talking about that. Like, does he look like me or his dad? Trying to figure that out. I gotta stir my mushrooms over here. Okay. Find IV drips with vitamins, including lysine, helpful. Have you ever done that before? I've never had lysine in an IV drip. There was a period of time I was getting like immune boosts and like vitamin B boosts and all that stuff. I haven't done that in years. But I'm sure that's another great way to get the lysine in your system. Awesome. I didn't even know they did that. So that's great that they have that. Just make sure they don't have lysine ones. You don't want the lysine one. Is it possible to have both HSV1 and HSV2 in the same spot? It is. People can have it in both locations. Is there a benefit to taking lysine if you or your partner doesn't have Is there a benefit to taking lysine if you or your partner don't have herpes? So Dan, I think you're asking like, should you take lysine? And lysine is great it's a building block for your muscles. There's a lot of benefits. You should like look up the benefits of lysine. It's essential amino acid. Basically, are you asking will it help you prevent getting herpes? I don't know that answer. But there are other benefits that have nothing to do with herpes for taking lysine. So that's a great question. I've actually never been asked that question. Is there a certain type of antiviral I recommend? No, there's Valtrex is the branded. It's like the original. Valcyclovir, acyclovir, all the generic brands. I would say whatever your doctor prescribes. If one doesn't work for you, then potentially look at taking another one. Just because every little recipe is a little bit different, right? All right, guys, I think I answered all your questions. How did you find out about your virus? I had a major awful outbreak. Like I couldn't have ignored it. So it was awful. It lasted about 2 weeks. It was awful. Autumn, you want to know if herpes can go in your eye? Yeah, it's called ocular herpes. It's not very common, but it can happen. If it does get in there, it's really important you get that looked at because ocular herpes is something not to mess around with. It can actually cause you to go blind. So yeah, absolutely. If you think you have ocular herpes, I would get that checked out. All right, guys, I really appreciate you sharing my drinking wine, stirring vegetables, and sort of semi-cleaning up the kitchen. Thanks for hanging with me. Just recently, I found your IG, and it's helped me a lot. I'm sure I'll ask a bunch of questions. Yes, ask away. Cool, guys. I hope you have a great night. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate every single one of you. I will see you soon. Sort of clean. Not really. All right. Bye, guys.